All right, welcome back, everybody, to the sixth issue of Hop In. I'm your host, Kev, and as always, this is Faith. Yeah, this is a great comic book. It's 12 issues. Now, we see a woman who is living in a world with powered people. Now, I picked up Faith from the first issue, and I've been hooked ever since. Uh, you'll notice by the pictures that you'll see up here exactly what I mean by, being empowered. Now, especially for younger readers, especially younger girl readers who read this comic book, it just gives you that type of like inspirational. It doesn't matter what your weight is or how pretty you are, just to let you know that you can be a superhero. Now, for some of you that are now, watching my In Tune Hop In series, pretty much this is a Valiant comic book, so it's different from Marvel and DC. It's still a comic book and it still has action. So when you read her, just think of Superman and I would say Professor X as her powers. Now she works at a magazine office, so she has like an alter ego, like Superman has an alter ego with working at the Daily Planet. Well, she works at a magazine office, and her boss knows who she is. The way that they found out was funny. It was, some of it was breathtaking, like a shocker. But yeah, anyway, this is a Valiant comic. Now, there's only 3 comic books that I'm reading from Valiant right now, and Faith, which just ended. This is the 12th issue. Was the last issue. I also read X-O Man of War and also Secret Weapons. Those are Valiant comic books. There are more that comes out from Valiant, but these are the main 3 that I'm reading. Now, sadly to say, this was the last issue. Issue 12 was the last issue. So there's no more Faith other than this comic book that comes out this month in July, and it's titled Faith in the Future Force. It comes out, like I said, this month in July. It'll be a 4-issue series, 4 6. Mainly, it's not going to be a long series, but I definitely can't wait to read it. And once I read all 6 issues, or the first 3, I'll definitely have it in another issue of Hop In. Now, I did the math on this. Altogether, 12 issues, it'd be costly, about $47.88 plus tax. So you can either wait for the trade back to come out, which would be 6 months from now, or probably not that much because I'm pretty sure they're already working on the first volume. But if it's 12 issues in already, I'm pretty sure they have one trade out from issues 1 through 6 already in the trade. And pretty much, you guys, that's just how I think that it would be best for you to do. Or you can go to the comic book store and pick up 3 issues at a time, 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and then 10 through 12. So yeah, I think that'd be best. Definitely a good read. Like I said, this is very strength and upbuilding for young women and just young people everywhere. As a kid, I always pictured myself as a Spider-Man or a Batman or a Superman. But every time I always daydreamed about a skinnier version of myself. But when I read Faith, I pretty much just saw her for who she is. She's a big woman. There's no way to hide that. And when I read it, and now I start to have different daydreams of me still being a superhero, but now instead of trying to be like a fit with 6-pack and really ripped abs, I'm thinking of just my chubby old self being able to do pretty much either with Superman or have the intelligence like Batman. But definitely give Faith a definitely good read. The plot of the story is she's facing somebody, which I don't want to give it away, so you guys definitely need to go pick this up, if not for yourselves, for younger kids that you might know, or a younger girl who would definitely like to read something like this. So that's about it for that. How about we move on to Marvel? Darth Vader. Man, okay, so bad guys are, bad guys. But this bad guy is awesome. I mean, once you understand Darth Vader's past, then you'll know his future, and you'll understand it of where he came from. Now, I don't want to confuse anybody. There already are trade backs of Darth Vader that's out. There's 4 in total that are more recent and kind of more current. You have 3 titles that's just called Darth Vader, and then you have 1 title that's Darth Vader Down. And I'll describe a little bit more further on after I get the point across of the 2 comic books that I want you to actually go out and go get. And these are the issues, not the trade backs, the issues that are more recent. So pretty much after the fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar, Anakin, or now Darth Vader, wakes up to Palpatine, and if you saw the movie and you see the scene, he's like, no, you know, that's pretty much where this newer issue of comic books are picking up. And so Palpatine's pretty much telling him, you have to go get your own kyber crystal for your new lightsaber, because, well, obviously Obi-Wan has his old lightsaber and he has to forge it. Now, when it comes to lightsabers, in order for it to get that crimson red, they literally, the person who is trying to turn it into crimson red has to pretty much make it bleed red with rage. And so Palpatine pretty much is like, well, you can't just go out to these worlds and go pick them up and go get a crystal and make one, because the crystals call for you. But in this case, Palpatine is like, no, you need to actually go take it from a Jedi and make it bleed red. Now, obviously, if you've seen Star Wars: The New Hope, Return of the Sith, and all that, you know that he has a lightsaber. But this new series of Darth Vader is showing us how he got these crystals, and it's amazing. Like, the start off is just awesome. So if you know anything about Star Wars, you know that Order 66 happened. So there are no Jedis out that are left. Well, there are a few, but at the end of the 2nd issue, which is a surprise, which I don't know if you guys been on YouTube and watching other people's YouTube videos and they already showed you or talked about this person, but I'm gonna leave it as a surprise just in case you haven't. So at the end of the 2nd issue, he finds out who he needs to go, pretty much go and fight to get this Jedi lightsaber, so that he can take that kyber crystal out and make it bleed red, so he can create his own lightsaber. This is an amazing start to, I guess, to pretty much see the background of how Darth Vader got his lightsaber. It's probably a question a lot of people don't ask, but it's a question I kind of asked. I'm like, okay, so he lost the fight with Obi-Wan, but now we see him in New Hope, or pretty much now, because it's canon, Rogue One, and we see him with the lightsaber. Well, how did he get his crystal? How did he get his lightsaber? And how did he get it to turn red instead of it being blue? And this new series of Darth Vader will show us how he came about in order to do that. Now, those volumes or those trade backs I was telling you about earlier, that kind of takes place a little after New Hope. So after Luke Skywalker blows up the planet, will blow up the first Death Star, and that's where those trades take place. It was 21 issues altogether for that, but like I said, there's now 4 trade backs that are out. Now, there's one trade back that will contain issues 13 through 15, and that would be Darth Vader Down. Now, but like I said before, I just wanted to give you an idea of what's already out there, to give you the difference between the trade backs that's already out and the new series that Marvel just started up for Darth Vader. Now, for those 2 issues that's out already, altogether that will cost you $7.98 plus tax. It is an amazing comic book, and it's an amazing story of how he got his lightsaber. And there's still more to come, so definitely go out and pick up Darth Vader. That's just what it's titled. It's just titled Darth Vader. That's why I wanted to put emphasis on the difference between the trade backs and the newer series. So when you go to the comic book store, you say I want to read Darth Vader, they're gonna probably, okay, well, which one you want to read? You want to read the trade backs, or you want to read the new issues? And because there's new issues, and I'm mainly trying to talk about the new issues here, pretty much say, when you walk in there, I want to pick up Darth Vader, but the new issues, I don't want to read the, or definitely go pick up the trade backs as well. I don't have that on this list that I'm doing for Hop In, but I definitely will put it in the next issue of Hop In, because, you know, trade, it doesn't matter what kind of comic book, all comic books are great. But the ones that I'm talking about right now are the 2 issues. So yeah, definitely go pick up this awesome comic book of Darth Vader. Now we're going to continue on the Marvel train. Up next we're talking about Man-Thing. Now this is a Marvel version of DC's version of Swamp Man. Pretty much same guy, but Marvel and DC, different thing. Anyway, Man-Thing has 5 issues. It's a 5-issue series, and it just wrapped up. I thought they were going to go a little bit more into it because, well, pretty much he's a part of the tie-in with the Secret Empire, but they canceled it during the 5th issue. So the 5th issue was the last issue. Now, Man-Thing was a scientist who was working on something, and obviously the people he's working on for double-crossed him, and the medicine that he's working on wound up making him into a Swamp Thing, because pretty much he was close to a swamp, and when he fell in it, the chemicals came over, and bam, you have Man-Thing. Now, I was curious about this comic book when I first picked it up. I said, Man-Thing, what's this all about? And I read it. Now, at the end of each series, there's like a little horror story, I guess. Not really a horror story, but it's a little side story at the end that has nothing to do with the main storyline. As I said this in all my previous Hop-In issues, I definitely want to make sure you guys go and pick up these comic books that might be overlooked due to the main storyline of a big event. So definitely give this a look over. It's 5 issues. It just wrapped up. It's $19.95 altogether plus tax. Now, I don't want to give away the storyline or the plot of this comic book, but pretty much Man-Thing transfers over to another dimension, and he has to find somebody and bring them back, because if he doesn't, the world will be out of balance, and if the world's out of balance, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. So yeah, definitely give Man-Thing a look, and pretty much what I have next for you up next is a rant, but you'll see my ugly mug in a couple of seconds. Okay, DC, you've done an amazing job. Awesome. The DC Rebirth launched last year. All the way up to now, I've been following. You guys said that you were going to bring back certain people, and you have. The Justice Society also was mentioned in the button. Crossover with Batman and The Flash. You gave us back the Clark and Lois love. You gave us back the Green Arrow and Black Canary love. You gave us back everybody. Now, I don't know if these 2 comic books are in the same continuity as the Rebirth, but you gave us the rise and fall of Hawkman and the rise and fall of the Atom. I'm asking if you can give us the rise and fall of the Martian Manhunter. My question is, where is he in the DC Rebirth universe? All we get is a glimpse of his cape and the thing that latches onto his cape. And DC Rebirth crossover, the button with the Flash issue 21. I just like to know where he is. I'm a huge fan of the Martian Manhunter. I would like to know if we can get him back. If you can just do that, 6 issues, rise and fall of the Martian Manhunter. Let me know. If anybody who's connected to DC, or DC, if you're watching this yourself, can you at least see those 6 issues? Please, I'm begging you, I would like to have that. But I digress. In this issue of Hop In, we got to talk about faith and how inspiring she can be. 12 issues in, it's a great story and comic book. Definitely should go pick it up. We got to talk about Darth Vader and how he got his red lightsaber with many more issues to come. And then we got to talk about Man-Thing. We got to see who he was and how he wound up being exactly Man-Thing. So, as always, you guys, I gotta end this up. I've been Kev, you've been you. Let's stay in tune.